The day slowly loosens its grip, and the weight you carried begins to soften. The sounds of the world grow distant, like waves retreating from the shore. In this quiet moment, you are invited to rest without effort, to lay down every concern, every calculation, every unanswered question. Nothing is required of you now. The night has arrived as a gentle covering, and within it there is safety, warmth, and provision. Your breath deepens naturally, without command or control. Each inhale gathers peace, and each exhale releases what no longer needs to be held. The body understands this language of rest. Muscles soften, the mind slows, and the heart settles into a steady rhythm. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are exactly where you need to be, held by a presence that does not hurry and does not forget. As the mind quiets, awareness turns inward, where abundance is not something to be chased, but something remembered. There is a stream that flows beneath every moment, unseen yet constant, supplying all that is needed in its time. You are not separate from this flow. You have never been. Even now, as you rest, it moves toward you with perfect precision and care. Let the thoughts of money, bills, and outcomes drift like clouds across a wide sky. You do not need to solve them tonight. You do not need to rehearse tomorrow. This is a sacred pause, a space where striving ends and trust begins. What you release in this moment is gently gathered and reordered in ways beyond your effort. There is a quiet assurance settling into your chest, a knowing that provision does not depend on tension or fear. What is meant for you finds you in rest more easily than in struggle. The night itself participates in this unfolding, wrapping you in calm, while unseen work continues on your behalf. Feel the support beneath you, steady and unchanging. Just as the earth holds you without effort, so are you held in every area of life. You are allowed to receive without explaining why. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to trust that your needs are known before they are spoken. As awareness drifts towards sleep, imagine your worries dissolving into a soft light, not erased, but transformed. They become seeds placed gently into fertile ground, where growth happens quietly, without noise or strain. Nothing is forced. Nothing is rushed. Everything unfolds according to a wisdom that never fails. Peace settles over your thoughts like a warm blanket, heavy enough to comfort, light enough to breathe beneath. Your mind no longer searches for answers. It rests in the assurance that answers arrive in their proper time. Tonight is not for planning or fixing. Tonight is for receiving rest. You are safe in the stillness. You are surrounded by provision that does not sleep and does not tire. Even as your eyes grow heavy, care continues. Even as consciousness softens, abundance remains active, flowing steadily toward your life. Allow yourself to drift, knowing that rest itself is an act of trust. In letting go, opens space for more than effort could ever produce. The night welcomes you, and with it comes peace, assurance, and the quiet beginning of abundance unfolding. The mind may still carry echoes of concern, old calculations looping softly, memories of moments when money felt heavy or uncertain. There is no need to push these thoughts away. Let them rise gently and pass without judgment. Tonight, they are not enemies to fight, but signals ready to be released. As the body rests, fear loosens its grip, realizing it no longer needs to stand guard. With every slow breath, tension begins to melt. The chest softens, the jaw relaxes, and the subtle tightness around the eyes eases. Financial worry often hides in these quiet places, storing itself in the body long after the mind has grown tired. Now, without effort, that stored weight begins to drain away, like water seeping back into the earth. There is nothing wrong with having feared before. Fear once believed it was protecting you. Thank it softly and allow it to rest. It does not need to calculate outcomes or rehearse losses anymore. In this moment, fear is relieved of duty. A deeper intelligence takes its place, one that operates without panic and without pressure. Imagine each concern becoming lighter, less defined, as if its edges are gently dissolving. Numbers blur, timelines soften, urgency fades. What once felt sharp and demanding now feels distant, like a sound heard from far away. You are not ignoring reality. You are allowing it to reorganize without distress. The heart begins to understand that provision does not arrive through anxiety. Strain does not summon abundance. Worry does not speed outcomes. As this truth settles, the nervous system calms, recognizing that safety does not depend on constant vigilance. You are allowed to sleep without monitoring the future. There is a quiet permission unfolding within you to trust again, not blindly, but gently. Trust that you are supported beyond your own calculations. Trust that solutions form even when you are unaware. Trust that release creates space where fear once lived. As the night deepens, fear loses its voice. It no longer shouts, it whispers, then fades into silence. In its place, a calm neutrality appears, a balanced state where nothing feels urgent or threatening. From this calm, clarity will rise later, naturally and without force. Your breathing grows slower, deeper, more rhythmic. Each exhale carries away another layer of tension, another fragment of financial concern. You do not need to know what replaces it yet. It is enough to feel the relief of letting go. Sleep approaches like a gentle tide, carrying with it a sense of safety. In this state, the mind is no longer braced against imagined outcomes. It rests in the present, where nothing is lacking and nothing is demanded. Fear has done its work and now steps aside. What remains is openness, softness, and the quiet readiness to receive. As you drift further into rest, your inner world becomes spacious, unburdened, once more. In the stillness that follows release, awareness gently turns towards something deeper and steadier than circumstance. Beneath effort and planning, beneath gain and loss, there is a quiet source that has never wavered. It does not rush forward or pull away. It simply is, sustaining all things without strain. As you rest, this remembrance rises naturally, like warmth returning to cold hands. You may not have words for this source, and none are required. It has known you long before you learned to name need or desire. It has carried you through seasons of plenty and seasons of uncertainty with the same unwavering presence. Even when you doubted, even when you forgot, this source did not withdraw. It continued to give, to supply, to sustain in ways both seen and unseen. Let the mind relax into this understanding. You do not have to figure out how provision works. You only need to remember where it comes from. Just as the body knows how to breathe without instruction, life knows how to support itself when allowed. The same intelligence that keeps your heart beating through the night also arranges what you need at the right moment. There is comfort in realizing that you are not the origin of your supply. You are a receiver, not a generator. The burden of creating abundance does not rest on your shoulders. It never has. As this truth settles, something inside you unclenches, relieved of a responsibility it was never meant to carry alone. Feel how this awareness spreads gently through your body, bringing a sense of steadiness. The chest feels supported. The stomach softens. The back releases its subtle tension. You are upheld by something larger than effort, wiser than worry, calmer than fear. In this support, rest deepens. Thoughts of scarcity lose their power here. They cannot survive in the presence of a source that does not diminish. This source is not affected by markets, opinions, or timing. It flows continuously, adapting perfectly to your life without needing your supervision. As you sink further into rest, allow gratitude to rise without force. Not gratitude for specific outcomes, but gratitude for the certainty that you are not alone in meeting your needs. Gratitude for the unseen systems already at work. Gratitude for the quiet assurance that provision is not fragile. The night holds this truth gently for you. While the conscious mind drifts, deeper awareness remains connected to this endless supply. There is no interruption, no pause, no exhaustion. What supports you now will support you tomorrow, and the next day, and beyond. You are free to sleep knowing that the source of all provision does not sleep. It watches without effort, gives without depletion, and arranges without struggle. Rest comes easily when you remember this, and in that remembrance, peace settles like a deep, healing calm. Let yourself drift, anchored in this knowing. You are sustained. You are supported. You are provided for. Even now, even here, even in rest. There is a quiet space within you where the question of deserving no longer echoes. In this space, worth is not earned, steady and unchanged. As you rest, you are invited to return to this place where your value is not measured by effort, success, or past mistakes, but by your very being. The body begins to soften as this truth is felt rather than thought. Shoulders lower, the breath eases, and the subtle tension of self-judgment loosens its hold. You were never meant to struggle for permission to receive. You were never meant to carry the belief that abundance must be justified. Tonight, those old stories can gently fade. Perhaps there have been moments when you felt undeserving, times when receiving felt uncomfortable or undeserved. These feelings arose from misunderstanding, not truth. They were learned, absorbed, inherited, but they were never yours at the core. As you rest now, those layers begin to peel away, revealing something simpler and kinder beneath. Imagine these beliefs lifting like a mist, thinning with each breath. What remains is a calm recognition that receiving is natural, just as the earth accepts rain without apology, just as the lungs accept air without question. You are allowed to accept provision without doubt. There is no imbalance in this. Giving and receiving are part of the same gentle rhythm. A quiet affirmation settles into your awareness, not spoken aloud, not forced, but felt deeply. You are worthy of support. You are worthy of ease. You are worthy of abundance that arrives without pain or pressure. This worth does not increase or decrease. It has always been whole. As the mind relaxes into this understanding, resistance softens. There is less hesitation, less internal negotiation. The heart opens slightly, then more, allowing warmth to flow through spaces once guarded. In this openness, receiving feels safe again. There is no need to compare yourself to others or measure your journey against anyone else's. Your path unfolds according to its own timing, guided by wisdom that knows exactly where you are. Nothing about you disqualifies you from abundance. Nothing you have done places you outside of care. The night wraps this truth around you gently, reinforcing it without words. As sleep draws closer, the subconscious absorbs this permission to receive, carrying it into deeper layers of being. Old limitations dissolve quietly, without struggle. Rest now in the knowing that you do not need to become more to receive more. You do not need to fix yourself or prove anything. You are already enough, already held, already worthy of provision flowing into your life with grace. As you drift toward sleep, this truth settles firmly and peacefully within you, becoming part of the quiet foundation upon which abundance can rest and grow. Peace arrives before abundance, like soft rain preparing the ground. It does not announce itself loudly or demand attention. It simply settles in, calming the inner landscape so that growth can occur naturally. As you rest, this peace begins to spread through you, quieting the subtle urgency that once pushed and pulled your thoughts. The mind no longer races ahead, trying to secure outcomes present moment, where nothing is required and nothing is missing. In this calm space, the body responds with relief. The nervous system unwinds, recognizing that safety does not come from control, but from trust. There is a gentle order here, one that cannot be rushed. Prosperity does not bloom in tension. It emerges where the soil is soft, where resistance has eased, where peace has been allowed to take root. Tonight, that soil is being prepared within you, quietly and effortlessly. Feel how peace moves through your chest, steadying the heart. It moves through the stomach, releasing the need to brace against uncertainty. It flows through the limbs, allowing heaviness to dissolve. This peace is not passive. It is active, intelligent, and deeply supportive. Within this calm, clarity begins to form without effort. Ideas, opportunities, and solutions will arise later from this place, not from strain, but from stillness. For now, there is nothing to grasp. Peace itself is enough. You may notice how abundance feels different when imagined from this state. It no longer carries urgency or fear. It feels gentle, appropriate, and aligned. It arrives as a natural extension of balance, not as a rescue from chaos. The night deepens, and peace deepens with it. Thoughts slow, then soften, then drift away. What remains is a quiet sense of rightness, as though things are already aligning beyond your awareness. There is comfort in not needing to know how. As sleep draws nearer, this peace settles firmly into the subconscious, becoming familiar, trustworthy. From this place, prosperity can unfold without disturbing rest, without stealing calm, without demanding sacrifice. Rest now in this gentle stillness. Peace has gone before you, preparing the way. In its presence, abundance will follow naturally, quietly, and in perfect time. Scarcity is not a truth you were born with. It is a story learned over time, repeated so often that it began to feel real. Tonight, that story no longer needs to be carried. As your body rests, the mind becomes gentle enough to loosen its grip on old patterns, allowing them to fade without resistance or struggle. Thoughts that once whispered, "Not enough," grow quieter now. They soften as the nervous system settles, realizing it no longer needs to stay alert or defensive. Scarcity thrives on tension and urgency, and as both dissolve, its voice weakens. You do not have to argue with it. Simply resting is enough to undo it. Feel how your breath creates space inside you. With each slow inhale, the mind opens slightly. With each exhale, constriction releases. The idea of lack begins to lose its shape, no longer sharp or convincing. It drifts like fog in the morning sun, thinning naturally, without force. The body remembers abundance more easily than the mind. It knows how nourishment arrives, how warmth spreads, how rest restores. As you lie here, supported and still, the body teaches the mind that there is already enough in this moment. This felt sense of enough begins to rewrite deeper beliefs. You may notice a subtle shift, a feeling of expansion where there was once tightness. The chest feels broader, the belly softer, the jaw unclenched. These small changes signal something important. The mind is no longer bracing against imagined shortage. It is learning to trust presence rather than prediction. Scarcity patterns often come from the past, from voices and moments that no longer define your life. Tonight, they are gently released back into the past where they belong. You are not denying what happened. You are choosing not to live from it anymore. As awareness drifts closer to sleep, the subconscious becomes receptive. In this open state, new understanding settles easily. The understanding that supply is not fragile. That flow is not easily interrupted. That what supports life continues whether or not you worry. There is relief in realizing that you do not need to monitor abundance for it to exist. You do not need to guard against loss for stability to remain. The mind begins to rest in this truth, finding comfort in the absence of vigilance. Sleep approaches with a sense of spaciousness. The inner world feels wider, calmer, less crowded with limiting thoughts. Scarcity has loosened its hold, not through effort, but through rest. Drift now into this openness. Let the mind be quiet and unburdened. In this calm, abundance finds room to move freely, naturally, and without resistance, settling gently into the spaces once occupied by lack. There is a gentle movement happening beyond what you can see, a quiet current flowing even when the surface appears still. You do not need to track it or measure its progress. As you rest, this unseen flow continues with calm precision, guided by timing that does not rush and does not delay. Knowing this allows the mind to soften, releasing the need to constantly check or control. Trust does not arrive as a sudden certainty. It settles slowly, like dusk turning into night. It grows not from proof, but from the absence of resistance. As you lie here, supported and still, trust begins to feel natural again. It feels less like a decision and more like a gentle leaning into something steady. The unseen does not mean absent. Much of what sustains life works quietly, without announcement. Roots grow underground. Seeds open in darkness. The heart beats without asking permission. In the same way, provision arranges itself beyond your awareness, forming connections, openings, and solutions without strain. Feel how the body responds to this understanding. The breath deepens. The shoulders relax further. The mind no longer scans the future for threats or gaps. It rests in the present, where the unseen is allowed to work freely. There is comfort in admitting that you do not need to understand everything. You are not required to see the entire path for it to exist. Each step reveals itself in its moment, and tonight, your only step is rest. This is enough. As thoughts slow, a quiet confidence emerges, not loud or forceful, but steady. steady and warm. It reassures without words that what is meant for you is already in motion. Even now, while your eyes are closed, alignment continues. The night deepens, and trust deepens with it. The mind releases its grip on timelines and outcomes. It no longer demands certainty before allowing peace. Instead, peace comes first, and certainty follows in its own time. You are held within processes far more patient than worry, and far more effective than effort alone. Allowing them to work does not mean giving up. It means giving over what does not need to be carried. As sleep approaches, the unseen feels closer, more familiar. It no longer feels distant or mysterious. It feels supportive, attentive, and kind. You are not waiting for it to begin. It has already begun. Rest now in this quiet assurance. Let the flow continue without interference. In trusting what you cannot see, you create space for what you will soon receive, arriving gently, naturally, and right on time. There is a softness that comes when you recognize what is already present. Not a forced appreciation, not a list to be completed, but a gentle awareness of enough. In this moment, you are breathing, you are supported, you are resting. This is not small. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. As the mind settles into this recognition, tension eases further. Gratitude does not strain or perform. It simply notices. It notices the quiet, the warmth, the safety of this pause. It notices that even now, life is offering what is needed for this moment. Nothing more is required. When attention rests on what is already held, the body responds with calm. The nervous system relaxes into a sense of sufficiency. There is no urgency to reach ahead or pull something closer. The present moment holds enough to allow peace. This sense of enough is not resignation. It is openness. It creates space where abundance can expand naturally. When the mind is no longer clenched around what it fears is missing, it becomes receptive to what wants to arrive. Feel how this awareness spreads gently, like warmth through the chest and belly. It reassures without convincing. It settles without argument. Enough does not need to prove itself. It is felt. You may notice how different abundance feels when it grows from gratitude rather than hunger. It arrives as an overflow, not a rescue. It complements what is already whole rather than filling a void. The night deepens, and this quiet appreciation sinks into deeper layers of awareness. The subconscious absorbs the message that there is stability here, that the ground beneath you is firm. From this stability, growth happens easily. There is no pressure to name or count blessings. Simply resting in the sense of enough is sufficient. This subtle shift in awareness gently realigns the inner world, making it more spacious, more receptive, more at ease. As sleep draws closer, gratitude becomes less a thought and more a feeling. A calm contentment hums beneath consciousness, steady and reassuring. In this state, abundance feels natural, welcome, and safe. Rest now in this quiet fullness. From the blessing of enough, more will unfold in its time, gently and without effort, carried forward by the ease you allow yourself tonight. Imagine abundance not as something that crashes into your life or demands sudden change, but as a calm, steady movement, like water flowing through a familiar path. It does not rush or overwhelm. It moves at a pace that feels safe, predictable, and sustaining. As you rest, this image settles gently into your awareness, bringing ease to the way you think about receiving. A river does not question whether it deserves to flow. It does not strain to move forward. It follows the path prepared for it, guided by gravity and trust. In the same way, provision moves toward you along channels already forming, shaped by alignment rather than effort. Feel the smoothness of this flow as it enters your life. There is no tension, no sudden surge that disturbs your peace. It arrives consistently, reliably, meeting needs with grace. This kind of abundance does not steal rest or demand vigilance. It supports life quietly, moment by moment. As the mind holds this image, the body relaxes further. The idea of money becomes less sharp, less loaded with emotion. It feels neutral, even soothing, like water that cools and nourishes rather than overwhelms. This shift allows the nervous system to remain calm in the presence of increase. The flow adjusts naturally, responding to what is needed without excess or lack. There is wisdom in this movement, an intelligence that knows how much to give and when. You do not need to manage it or control its direction. It knows where to go. The night wraps this understanding around you gently. As thoughts slow, the image of steady flow becomes less visual and more felt. It is sensed as stability, as continuity, as trust that nothing essential is interrupted. You may notice a sense of reassurance arising, a quiet confidence that provision does not have to arrive dramatically to be meaningful. Consistency itself is abundance. Reliability is a form of wealth. Peaceful flow is a blessing. As sleep deepens, this understanding settles into the subconscious, shaping how you receive in the days ahead. Abundance will feel calmer, safer, more natural. It will not pull you out of rest, but support it. Drift now with this gentle current. Let it carry you deeper into sleep, knowing that what flows toward you does so with care, balance, and perfect timing. Steady as a river under the night sky, there is an order quietly arranging itself beyond effort, a harmony that does not need your constant attention. It moves with patience, aligning moments, resources, and opportunities in ways that feel natural rather than forced. As you rest, this order becomes more present, gently smoothing what once felt tangled or uncertain. The mind no longer needs to organize everything tonight. It can release its grip on planning and allow a deeper intelligence to guide the flow. This intelligence understands timing without clocks, balance without calculation, and provision without strain, trusting it brings relief to the parts of you that have been holding things together too tightly. Feel how this sense of order settles into your body. The breath becomes steady. The heart finds a comfortable rhythm. The body responds to the feeling of alignment by softening, no longer braced against disorder or surprise. In this harmony, finances are not chaotic forces, but part of a larger rhythm. Resources arrive where they are needed, when they are needed, without creating disturbance. There is a natural sequencing here, a sense that nothing is late and nothing is early. As thoughts quiet, a subtle clarity emerges, not the kind that demands action right now, but the kind that reassures. It whispers that confusion resolves itself when allowed, that answers do not need to be chased. They unfold when the ground is calm. The night deepens, and this alignment works silently. While you sleep, connections form, pathways open. What once seemed misaligned begins to settle into place, guided by order that does not sleep. There is comfort in knowing that you are not alone in maintaining balance. Life itself seeks equilibrium, always moving toward harmony. When you stop resisting this movement, it carries you with ease. As sleep draws closer, surrender becomes effortless. The mind rests in the assurance that things are being handled. You do not need to oversee the process. You are allowed to rest within it. Let yourself drift, wrapped in this quiet order, in its gentle structure. Abundance finds its place, flowing smoothly, peacefully, and in perfect arrangement. Even as you sleep, a quiet strength begins to return, not loud or demanding, but steady and reassuring. It does not push you forward or insist that you prove anything. It simply reminds you that you are capable, supported, and guided. As you rest, this calm confidence settles gently into your awareness, replacing doubt with ease. This confidence is not built on past wins or losses. It does not rise and fall with circumstances. It comes from a deeper place where trust in yourself and in life meet. From here, decisions feel simpler and uncertainty feels less threatening. Feel how this assurance spreads through your body. The spine feels supported, the chest open, the breath even. There is less hesitation in your thoughts, less self-questioning. You are not bracing against the future. You are meeting it with quiet readiness. Financial confidence does not shout or rush. It moves patiently, grounded in the understanding that you can respond to whatever arises. You do not need to know everything in advance to feel secure. You only need to trust that clarity will be available when needed. The night encourages this calm self-trust. As the mind slows, inner noise fades, and intuition becomes easier to hear. Guidance feels closer, more accessible, because it is no longer crowded out by fear. There is relief in realizing that confidence can coexist with rest. You do not need to stay alert or tense to feel capable. In fact, capability deepens when the nervous system is calm. As sleep approaches, this sense of confidence sinks into deeper layers of being. It becomes a quiet foundation rather than a surface thought. From this foundation, actions taken later will feel aligned rather than forced. You are allowed to trust yourself again. You are allowed to believe that you can handle what comes, supported by wisdom that does not abandon you. This belief does not demand proof tonight. It rests easily, like a steady flame protected from wind. Drift now into sleep with this assurance beside you. Confidence remains, not as pressure, but as a gentle companion, steady and present, preparing you to receive and move forward with ease when morning comes. There are weights that have been carried quietly, obligations and numbers that linger in the background of thought, even during moments meant for rest. Tonight, these weights are invited to loosen. You do not need to confront them or solve them now. Simply allowing them to be set down is enough. Relief begins the moment you stop holding everything alone. Feel the body responding to this permission. The chest expands slightly, as if making room for deeper breath. The stomach softens, no longer braced against pressure. The mind releases the constant tallying, the replaying of past decisions, the worry about future demands. For now, these concerns are not required. There is a gentle image of laying burdens aside, not abandoning responsibility, but trusting that support exists beyond effort. What feels heavy tonight does not define you. It is temporary, movable, and already shifting. The act of rest itself becomes a quiet statement that strain is not the only way forward. As the mind grows still, guilt begins to dissolve. Guilt for needing help, guilt for past choices, guilt for wishing things were easier. None of these are necessary anymore. Compassion replaces judgment, and with it comes a sense of forgiveness that soothes rather than confronts. The night offers space for release. In this space, burdens lose their sharp edges. They become lighter, less personal, less overwhelming. What once felt like a mountain now feels like something that can be handled gradually, with patience and support. You are not required to resolve everything before you rest. Rest is not a reward for completion. It is a resource that makes resolution possible. In allowing yourself to sleep, you are not avoiding anything. You are restoring the clarity and calm that make solutions easier to find. As awareness drifts inward, the subconscious absorbs this message of relief. Old patterns of carrying too much begin to soften. There is a growing trust that help appears, that pathways open, that pressure eases in ways you do not have to force. The body grows heavier, more relaxed, as if settling into a safe place. The sense of burden fades into the background, replaced by a feeling of being supported. even unresolved matters feel less threatening in this calm. Drift now into deeper rest, knowing that what you have released is not lost, but transformed. In letting go tonight, you make room for lightness, clarity, and renewal to enter quietly, preparing the way for ease to return. Rest is not empty space. It is fertile ground. Beneath the stillness of your body and the quiet of your thoughts, subtle movement is taking place, just as the earth works silently beneath the surface. Unseen processes begin to awaken when you allow yourself to sleep. Nothing appears to be happening, yet everything necessary is unfolding. The mind no longer needs to supervise this growth. In rest, it steps aside, allowing deeper intelligence to work without interruption. This intelligence knows how to nurture what has been placed within you, how to guide it toward expression at the right moment. Effort is not required here. Patience is built into the process. Feel how your body settles into this understanding. Muscles soften, breath becomes rhythmic, and awareness drifts gently inward. In this state, you are not inactive, you are receptive. You are participating by allowing rather than pushing. Every intention you have held, every hope whispered quietly, every desire shaped by care has been placed into this fertile space. Like seeds in rich soil, they do not need constant checking. They need darkness, warmth, and time. Sleep provides all of these naturally. There is trust in letting go of watchfulness. The mind learns that growth does not stop when attention fades. In fact, it often accelerates. The quiet of night creates the conditions where alignment forms without resistance. As sleep deepens, the subconscious takes over the work of integration. Old limitations loosen. New patterns begin to form gently, without strain. The groundwork for abundance is laid not through effort, but through surrender. The night holds this process safely. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forgotten. Each small movement occurs in its proper order, guided by wisdom that understands the whole picture. You may not notice these changes immediately upon waking, and that is perfectly fine. Growth does not announce itself with noise. It reveals itself gradually, through ease, through opportunity, through subtle shifts in feeling and circumstance. For now, rest in the knowledge that something good is taking shape. You do not need to manage it. You do not need to hurry it. Your role is simply to sleep, to allow, to trust the quiet work being done on your behalf. Drift deeper now, knowing that this stillness is alive with possibility. In this gentle rest, the foundations of abundance are being strengthened, preparing to rise naturally when the time is right. There is a gentle invitation in this moment to stop reaching, to stop leaning forward into effort. Nothing needs to be chased tonight. Nothing needs to be proven or secured. As the body rests, a deeper understanding settles in that what is meant for you does not require strain to arrive. Striving tightens the muscles and sharpens the breath. receiving softens everything. Feel the difference now as you allow yourself to rest without expectation. The mind releases its grip on urgency, and the body responds with relief, recognizing that safety does not depend on constant action. You are allowed to receive without doing more. You are allowed to be supported without explaining how. This permission eases something deep within, where effort once felt necessary just to stay afloat. That belief can rest now. Imagine opening your hands after holding them clenched for a long time. There is a rush of warmth, a tingling release. In the same way, letting go of striving restores natural flow. What comes to you does so gently, fitting seamlessly into your life rather than disrupting it. The night encourages this ease. In darkness, nothing grows by force. Everything unfolds according to rhythm and timing. As you lie still, abundance learns the shape of your calm, adjusting itself to arrive without disturbance. There is wisdom in allowing. It creates space for alignment, for grace, for support that feels natural rather than earned. You are not falling behind by resting. You are aligning with a way of receiving that preserves peace. As sleep approaches, the desire to control fades. The mind no longer insists on effort as proof of worth. Instead, there is a quiet trust that what belongs to you will find you even in stillness. Let your breathing guide you deeper into this release. Each exhale loosens the need to try. Each inhale welcomes ease. Nothing essential is lost in this letting go. Everything important remains. Drift now into rest with open hands and a quiet heart. In this state of allowing, what comes to you does so gently, naturally, and without strain, arriving in harmony gently around you. There is a quiet assurance that begins to breathe within the silence. While the world slows and your eyes grow heavy, care continues without noise or effort. You are not required to remain alert for life to move forward. In this soft darkness, support unfolds naturally, attending to needs with calm precision. Nothing is forgotten. Nothing is delayed. The hours of rest carry their own intelligence, steady and kind. Allow your body to sink more deeply into comfort, knowing that vigilance can soften now. Muscles release what they have been holding, and the mind loosens its grip on planning and control. Even as thoughts fade, provision does not pause. It flows gently, weaving through unseen pathways, aligning circumstances with ease. You are held in a rhythm older and wiser than conscious effort. Breath by breath, the nervous system learns a new truth. Rest is safe. You do not have to earn tomorrow by worrying through the night. Support works quietly, adjusting what needs adjustment, preparing what needs preparing. In the stillness, subtle movements take place, like roots drawing nourishment from deep soil. Growth happens without strain, without demand, without your supervision. There is comfort in knowing that unseen care is thorough and attentive. you sleep, clarity forms where confusion once lingered. Opportunities begin to take shape in places you have not been looking. Resources shift gently toward balance. Nothing arrives with force or disturbance. Everything moves in harmony with peace, respecting your need for rest. As the mind drifts further, old habits of fear loosen and fall away. The belief that everything depends on constant effort begins to dissolve. You are learning that life can support you even when you are still. The quiet hours become a sanctuary where trust is restored and tension is unlearned. Each moment of rest signals permission for things to work out naturally. Feel how the chest softens, how the jaw releases, how the body welcomes the idea of being cared for. There is no requirement to stay alert to be secure. The watchful presence that surrounds you is patient and dependable. It works without hurry, without judgment, without fatigue. You are allowed to be unaware and still be supported completely. In this deepening calm, imagine the night itself standing guard, holding space for solutions to emerge. Paths clear without struggle. Arrangements fall into place with grace. What felt complicated during the day becomes simple in rest. What felt heavy becomes light when you stop carrying it alone. The unseen work continues, gentle and exact. Sleep grows deeper, and with it comes a sense of completion. You have done enough for today. Now it is time to receive without effort. The hours ahead are not empty. They are active in quiet ways, nurturing stability and ease. You do not need to witness the process for it to be effective. Trust is enough. As dreams begin to form, let them float freely, unburdened by concern. Even in dreaming, support remains steady. Care does not withdraw when consciousness fades. It remains present, attentive, responsive. The night knows how to hold responsibility without pressure, how to manage without anxiety. Rest fully now, wrapped in assurance. Everything necessary is being tended to with wisdom and patience. You are safe to sleep deeply, knowing that progress continues without your effort. The stillness is productive. The quiet is meaningful. In surrender, you are supported more than you realize. Let the final layers of tension melt away as sleep takes you gently. The watch remains faithful through every hour, ensuring that nothing essential is missed. Tomorrow does not need to be solved tonight. For now, peace is your portion, and rest is your gift. As rest deepens, a gentle awareness begins to form, one that stretches beyond the boundaries of the present moment. What flows toward you does not stop with you. It moves through you like a quiet blessing, touching lives connected to yours in ways seen and unseen. In this stillness, abundance is not hurried or isolated. It is expansive, patient, and generous by nature. Let your breath remain slow and easy as you sense this widening circle of good. What is being prepared carries warmth, stability, and care that reaches family, friends, and those whose paths intertwine with yours. Nothing is forced. Nothing is taken from another. There is more than enough, arriving in a way that nourishes many without strain. Rest allows this truth to settle gently into the heart. As the body relaxes further, imagine this sense of overflow moving softly across time. It honors what came before and quietly supports what will come after. Old patterns of limitation lose their grip as a new rhythm establishes itself, one rooted in continuity and ease. What is unfolding carries wisdom, ensuring that increase is balanced, kind, and sustaining. There is no pressure to manage this expansion. You do not need to orchestrate how it will bless others. Simply resting in openness allows the flow to remain clear and steady. Care moves naturally, guided by intelligence deeper than thought. Support reaches where it is needed most, without noise or disruption, without your constant attention. Feel how this understanding brings calm rather than responsibility. Abundance does not ask you to carry the weight of the world. It asks only that you remain receptive, grounded, and peaceful. From that place, generosity becomes effortless. Stability becomes shared. Well-being extends outward like ripples on still water. As sleep draws you inward, notice how guilt and fear have no place here. You are not taking more than you deserve. You are participating in a cycle designed to uplift and sustain. The quiet hours remind you that good can multiply without causing harm, that growth can be gentle and inclusive. Let this assurance settle into the nervous system, softening any lingering tension. You are safe to receive, and others are safe in your receiving. The flow is thoughtful and fair, guided by care rather than competition. Even now, unseen arrangements ensure balance, so that what comes brings peace rather than burden. The mind may drift into dreams, but this deeper knowing remains present. What is being prepared carries intention and continuity. It strengthens foundations, restores confidence, and offers support that lasts. Nothing is temporary or fragile here. What unfolds is meant to endure, to steady, to quietly enrich many lives over time. Rest becomes an act of trust, signaling readiness for this wider blessing. By letting go of control, you allow wisdom to distribute what is needed with precision and compassion. You are not alone in holding the future. Care extends beyond your reach, covering details you do not need to manage. As sleep deepens, feel gratitude arise softly, not as effort, but as calm recognition. Good is moving in ways that honor connection and continuity. You are part of something steady and benevolent, something that knows how to give without depletion and receive without fear. Sink fully into rest now, held by this expansive calm. What flows toward you carries quiet strength and gentle purpose, touching lives beyond your own. In this stillness, abundance becomes shared peace, unfolding naturally while you sleep. As the quiet of night wraps around you, there is an invitation to soften toward yourself. The past no longer needs to be replayed or judged in this stillness. What has been done, what was missed, what you wish you had known sooner can rest now. Compassion begins to replace self-criticism, and understanding gently takes the place of regret. In this moment, you are allowed to be human, allowed to have learned as you went, allowed to lay down the weight of self-blame. Let your breath move slowly and freely as you sense how heaviness begins to lift. Guilt has a way of tightening the body and narrowing the heart, but it cannot survive in deep rest. The night offers a quiet reassurance that mistakes do not define you, and missteps do not disqualify you from peace. They are part of the story, not the conclusion. As you rest, the body learns that it no longer needs to carry shame as protection. With every exhale, imagine releasing old narratives that say you should have done more, known better, or acted differently. Those thoughts have served their time. They no longer need to stay. Growth does not require punishment. Healing does not require self-denial. In this calm space, you are free to forgive yourself gently, without ceremony or effort. Notice how kindness toward yourself feels in the body. The shoulders ease, the jaw unclenches, the chest softens. There is relief in no longer needing to justify your worth or explain your past. You are enough as you are in this moment of rest. What lies ahead is not limited by what lies behind. The night holds space for renewal without asking questions. As sleep draws nearer, feel how understanding deepens. You did the best you could with what you had at the time. Awareness grows through experience, not perfection. This realization settles quietly, loosening old knots of tension and allowing peace to flow where judgment once lived. The nervous system responds, sensing safety in self-acceptance. There is no need to rehearse apologies or relive old decisions. The present moment does not require repayment. It only asks for gentleness. In this stillness, compassion becomes a balm, soothing places that have been tight for too long. You are allowed to move forward without dragging the past behind you. Let the mind drift as forgiveness becomes less of an action and more of a state. It happens naturally when rest deepens. The inner voice grows softer, more patient, more understanding. You are no longer at war with yourself. Peace does not demand that you forget. It simply invites you to stop hurting yourself over what cannot be changed. As the body sinks deeper into comfort, feel a quiet dignity return. Self-respect grows when shame fades. Confidence rebuilds not through force, but through kindness. In this space, you are reclaiming your right to feel at ease with yourself, to rest without punishment, to receive without apology. Sleep continues to draw you inward, and with it comes a sense of lightness. The burden of old guilt dissolves, leaving room for calm and clarity. Tomorrow, free to rest in self-compassion, knowing that release is not only possible, but natural. Allow sleep to take you fully now. The heart is lighter. The mind is quieter. You are at peace with your own journey, and that peace is enough. As the night grows quieter, a gentle sense of alignment begins to settle within you. There is a feeling of being guided rather than pushed, of moving in harmony instead of effort. What flows toward you carries meaning, not noise. It supports what truly matters, nourishing the parts of life that feel purposeful and sincere. In this stillness, clarity forms without thinking, and direction emerges without demand. Let your breathing remain slow and unforced as this sense of quiet alignment deepens. There is no need to chase or prove anything here. What is meant for you recognizes you naturally. It arrives in ways that feel steady, supportive, and right. The body relaxes as it senses that growth does not have to be chaotic or overwhelming to be real. As rest continues, imagine resources moving toward the areas of your life that feel most alive and authentic. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is excessive. What comes is balanced, intentional, and well-suited to who you are becoming. The night teaches that abundance can be thoughtful, that support can be wise, and that increase can serve something deeper than accumulation. Notice how this understanding brings calm rather than excitement. There is peace in knowing that what unfolds aligns with inner values. No compromise is required. No urgency is necessary. What supports your life's meaning arrives gently, strengthening rather than distracting. Sleep allows this truth to settle into the nervous system, where it becomes felt rather than analyzed. As the mind drifts, old conflicts between desire and integrity soften and dissolve. You are not asked to choose between stability and purpose. They are not opposites here. They move together, reinforcing one another in quiet cooperation. This harmony feels natural, as if it has always been available, simply waiting for stillness to be noticed. Feel how the body responds to this alignment. There is ease in the chest, steadiness in the breath, and warmth in the center of your being. You are supported in ways that respect who you are and where you are going. Nothing presses you into roles that do not fit. Nothing pulls you away from what matters most. Sleep deepens, and with it comes trust. You do not need to outline every step for life to meet you. Direction unfolds organically when rest creates space. Insight forms in the quiet. Opportunities arise that feel like invitations rather than demands. This gentle unfolding honors both your well-being and your sense of meaning. In this state, receiving feels simple and clean. There is no conflict, no guilt, no fear of losing yourself. What arrives supports contribution, creativity, and balance. It strengthens your ability to live in alignment, to offer what feels true, and to remain grounded while doing so. As the night holds you, let gratitude arise softly for this quiet cooperation between support and purpose. It is not loud or dramatic. It is steady, kind, and enduring. You are allowed to rest knowing that what comes will serve life, not disturb it. Drift fully into sleep now, carried by this calm alignment. What unfolds is meaningful, supportive, and in harmony with who you are. In rest, this alignment settles deeply, becoming a natural part of your way forward. As the night settles into stillness, a quiet expectation begins to form, gentle and unhurried. It is not the tense waiting of uncertainty, but a calm knowing that something good is unfolding. There is no need to watch the clock or scan the future. This expectation rests softly in the heart, steady and patient, allowing the body to relax without losing hope. Let your breath move easily as this peaceful anticipation deepens. It carries no urgency and asks nothing of you. There is room to trust without demanding proof, to believe without gripping tightly. The mind loosens its habit of worrying, learning a new rhythm where confidence is quiet, and reassurance does not require constant reminders. As rest continues, notice how this calm expectation feels in the body. The shoulders drop, the brow smooths, the chest opens slightly, as if welcoming rather than bracing. There is comfort in believing that good does not need to be chased or forced. It arrives when there is space for it to land. The night supports this gentle outlook, teaching that anticipation can be soft and steady rather than anxious. You are not waiting for rescue. You are resting in trust. The difference is subtle but powerful. One tightens the nervous system, the other soothes it. In this stillness, the body learns to associate hope with ease. As thoughts drift and fade, the inner atmosphere grows lighter. Expectations become spacious instead of specific, open rather than demanding. There is freedom in allowing life to surprise you, to bring what you could not have planned. This openness invites possibilities without pressure, letting outcomes form naturally. Feel how patience arises without effort. You are not counting moments or measuring progress. You are simply allowing time to do what it does best. The night holds this patience gently, reminding you that good things often unfold quietly, without announcement, without rush. Sleep draws you further inward, and with it comes a deepening sense of trust. You do not need to know how or when. That knowledge is not required for peace. What matters is the calm certainty that something supportive is on its way, carried by timing wiser than impatience. In this space, the future feels friendly rather than threatening. It does not loom or demand. It waits kindly, ready to meet you when the moment is right. This feeling settles into the nervous system, easing old habits of worry and control. As dreams begin to form, let them float freely, untouched by expectation or fear. Even in dreaming, the heart remains at ease. There is nothing to fix tonight, nothing to solve. The quiet confidence you carry is enough. Drift deeper into sleep now, wrapped in this peaceful anticipation. Good is allowed to arrive in its own way and time. For now, rest is complete, and trust is doing its gentle work. As the night continues to unfold, a deep sense of patience settles softly within you. Time no longer feels like something to race against or control. It becomes a gentle companion, moving at a pace that feels natural and kind. There is comfort in knowing that not everything must happen at once, and that unfolding has its own wisdom. In this quiet hour, urgency loosens its grip, and calm takes its place. Let your breathing slow as you rest in this understanding. What is meant to arrive will do so when all conditions are ready. Nothing essential will be missed by waiting. The body responds to this truth with ease, releasing the subtle tension that comes from trying to hurry life forward. In stillness, patience becomes less of an effort and more of a feeling of safety. As thoughts soften, notice how trust begins to replace restlessness. You are not being delayed, you are being prepared. Each moment serves a purpose, even the quiet ones that seem uneventful. The night reminds you that growth often happens invisibly, beneath the surface, where it cannot be rushed, but must be allowed. There is peace in surrendering the need to know exact timelines. The mind can rest from calculating outcomes and predicting results. Timing is not random here. It is attentive and precise, aligning circumstances gently and thoughtfully. This assurance settles into the nervous system, easing old habits of impatience and doubt. Feel how the body welcomes this slower rhythm. Muscles soften, the heart rate steadies, and the mind grows quiet. Waiting no longer feels like emptiness. It becomes a space of quiet preparation, where things align naturally without force. You are learning that stillness can be active in its own subtle way. As sleep draws you deeper, imagine time itself working with care on your behalf. It arranges moments, conversations, and opportunities with patience and accuracy. Nothing arrives too early to overwhelm you or too late to serve its purpose. Everything unfolds in balance, guided by wisdom beyond urgency. In this gentle surrender, frustration fades. There is no need to compare your pace to anyone else. Your rhythm is uniquely suited to you. The night affirms that what is unfolding is not behind or ahead, but exactly on course. This realization brings relief, allowing the heart to rest without pressure. Let this calm acceptance deepen as you drift closer to sleep. You are not required to push or rush to be worthy of what comes next. Rest itself becomes part of the process, signaling readiness and trust. The quiet hours hold progress that does not need to be seen to be real. As dreams begin to form, allow them to come without expectation. The future does not need to be solved tonight. It is being handled with patience and care. assurance that timing is gentle, attentive, and perfectly suited to you. Sink fully into sleep, wrapped in calm and trust. What unfolds will do so at the right moment, without strain or haste. Tonight, peace is enough, and waiting is safe. As the quiet deepens, a soft openness settles within you, making room for what you did not plan and could not predict. There is a gentle readiness in this openness, free from tension or demand. It does not strain toward outcomes or cling to expectations. It simply allows life to arrive with kindness, carrying gifts that reveal themselves naturally, often in ways that feel surprisingly right. Let your breath remain slow and easy as this openness expands. There is no need to guard against surprise here. The body senses safety in receiving without preparation, trusting that what comes is thoughtful and supportive. Old habits of bracing soften, replaced by a calm curiosity that does not disturb rest. As sleep draws closer, imagine moments of ease appearing quietly, without announcement. They arrive gently, fitting into your life without disruption. Support shows up in ordinary forms that feel natural rather than dramatic. Nothing startles the nervous system. Everything settles smoothly, like pieces finding their place without effort. Notice how this possibility brings lightness rather than excitement. There is no rush of anticipation, no pressure to be alert. The heart remains calm, steady, receptive. Good does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful. Often it arrives softly, asking only to be noticed and welcomed. As thoughts drift, feel how trust grows without effort. You are not waiting for something to save you. You are resting in the assurance that kindness can appear unexpectedly, meeting needs you may not have fully named. This trust does not keep you awake. It allows you to sleep more deeply. The night supports this gentle receptivity, reminding you that life is not limited to what you can foresee. Possibilities exist beyond planning and control. When you rest, you allow space for those possibilities to move freely, without resistance. The quiet hours become an open doorway rather than a closed pause. Feel how the body responds to this idea. The chest softens, the belly relaxes, the breath deepens. There is no need to stay vigilant to receive what is meant for you. Being open does not require effort. It is simply a state of ease, a willingness without strain. As dreams begin to form, let them wander without direction. Even in dreaming, this openness remains. Good can arrive while you are unaware, weaving itself into your life gently and seamlessly. Nothing needs to be orchestrated tonight. Drift deeper into sleep, wrapped in calm receptivity. What comes will do so with care, at a pace that honors your peace. For now, rest is complete, and openness is enough. As the night holds you in quiet stillness, a sense of safety begins to settle gently throughout your body. This safety is calm and steady, not fragile or conditional. It does not depend on constant control or vigilance. It exists as a quiet knowing that you are supported, held, and protected in your receiving. The body responds naturally, allowing deeper relaxation to take place. Let your breath move slowly as this feeling of safety spreads. There is no need to brace against what comes or fear its presence. What arrives does so with care, respecting your pace and your peace. The nervous system learns that increase does not have to feel overwhelming or destabilizing. It can be soft, measured, and reassuring. As rest deepens, notice how old associations between success and stress begin to loosen. You are not required to sacrifice calm to experience growth. Support can coexist with tranquility. Stability can feel gentle rather than demanding. The night teaches that it is safe to have more without losing yourself. Feel how the body welcomes this reassurance. The shoulders drop, the jaw relaxes, the heart settles into an even rhythm. There is comfort in knowing that nothing arriving will threaten your sense of ease. Everything unfolds in a way that maintains balance and well-being. As thoughts drift, the idea of safety becomes embodied rather than intellectual. You no longer need to remind yourself to relax. Relaxation happens on its own when the body senses security. This state allows you to receive without tension, to grow without fear, and to rest without resistance. The quiet hours reinforce this calm truth. You are capable of holding what comes with steadiness and grace. There is no need to diminish yourself to stay safe. There is no need to resist support to protect your peace. Both can exist together, harmoniously and naturally. Sleep draws you inward, and with it comes a deeper trust in your own capacity to remain grounded. Whatever unfolds, you remain centered. You remain calm. The night assures you that your foundation is strong enough to support ease and expansion without strain. As dreams begin to take shape, let them unfold gently. Even in dreaming, the sense of safety remains present. There is nothing to guard against. You are free to rest fully, knowing that peace will not be disturbed by what comes next. Drift deeper into sleep now, wrapped in quiet assurance. You are safe in receiving. You are safe in rest. Everything unfolds in balance, and that balance holds you steadily through the night. As the night deepens into a calm hush, a gentle harmony begins to settle around you. There is an understanding that what flows into your life does not need to arrive with noise or disruption. Peace remains intact, undisturbed by movement or change. The stillness holds everything in balance, allowing growth to unfold without agitation or pressure. Let your breathing stay slow and effortless as this harmony becomes more present. There is no chaos here, no sudden urgency demanding attention. What comes does so quietly, respecting your need for rest. The body senses that ease and stability can coexist naturally, without conflict or strain. As the mind drifts, notice how old expectations of turmoil begin to dissolve. You are no longer bracing for stress or tension. The belief that progress must be loud or exhausting loosens its hold. In its place, a softer truth emerges. Support can arrive calmly, strengthening rather than unsettling your inner peace. Feel how this realization settles into the nervous system. Muscles relax further. The breath deepens. The heart remains steady. Nothing pulls you out of balance. Everything integrates smoothly, like a gentle current that carries without jolting or force. The night affirms that tranquility is not fragile. It does not shatter when life moves forward. It remains present, anchoring you even as circumstances shift. This knowing allows you to rest more deeply, trusting that calm will not be sacrificed for progress. As sleep continues to draw you inward, imagine life adjusting quietly around you, arranging itself without disturbance. What is added does not overwhelm. What changes does not unsettle. Everything finds its place with grace, maintaining the peace you are settling into now. There is comfort in knowing that you do not need to choose between stability and ease. They are not opposites here. They move together, reinforcing one another gently. The night holds this balance effortlessly, offering a model of calm integration. As dreams begin to form, let them float in this tranquil space. Even in dreaming, the sense of peace remains unbroken. Nothing intrudes, nothing disturbs. You are free to rest fully, trusting that calm accompanies every unfolding. Drift deeper into sleep now, wrapped in this quiet harmony. What comes will not disrupt your rest. Peace remains steady, holding everything in gentle balance through the night. As the night settles into deeper stillness, a gentle sense of thankfulness begins to rise without effort. It is not something you have to summon or shape with words. It appears naturally, like a soft glow in the quiet. Gratitude here is calm and spacious, free from obligation or performance. It simply acknowledges that you are held, that enough has been given for this moment. Let your breath move slowly as this feeling spreads through you. There is appreciation for the simple fact of rest, for the body that knows how to relax, for the quiet that surrounds you now. Nothing needs to be added to make this moment complete. The heart recognizes that even in stillness, there is abundance to notice. As thoughts drift, gratitude becomes less about counting and more about settling. It rests gently in the chest, warming without excitement. You are not listing blessings or reviewing outcomes. You are allowing a soft awareness that life has carried you to this point, and that is enough for now. This awareness brings ease rather than effort. Feel how the body responds to this quiet thankfulness. Muscles soften further. The breath deepens naturally. The nervous system receives the signal that it is safe to let go. Gratitude becomes a bridge into deeper rest, easing the transition from wakefulness into sleep. is no striving in this moment, no reaching for what is next. Thankfulness closes the day gently, like a door set softly into place. It says that for now, all is well enough. The night receives this feeling and amplifies it, spreading calm throughout your inner space. As sleep approaches, gratitude shifts from thought to atmosphere. It surrounds you without words, like a gentle presence. You do not need to hold it. It holds you. In this space, rest feels deserved, natural, and complete. Let any remaining tension melt away as appreciation settles fully. There is relief in not needing more right now. The moment is sufficient. The quiet is sufficient. You are sufficient as you are. This realization brings a deep sense of peace. As dreams begin to form, carry this soft thankfulness with you, not as an intention, but as a feeling. Even in dreaming, the heart remains at ease. There is nothing to ask for tonight. Rest itself is a gift. Drift fully into sleep now, wrapped in calm appreciation. The day is complete. The night is kind. Gratitude rests with you, gently guiding you into deep and peaceful rest. As the quiet of night deepens, there is a natural softening around thoughts of tomorrow. The mind no longer needs to reach forward or plan every detail. What lies ahead can be gently set down, placed into care beyond your own. This release does not feel like loss, but like relief, a loosening of the grip that has been holding too tightly. Let your breath remain slow and steady as you feel this easing take place. The future does not require your constant attention to be secure. You are allowed to rest without guarding what comes next. In this stillness, trust becomes something felt rather than reasoned, settling into the body with warmth and ease. As rest deepens, notice how the weight of anticipation lifts. You are not abandoning responsibility, you are sharing it. There is support that extends beyond your waking effort, capable and attentive. This understanding calms the nervous system, signaling that it is safe to let go for now. The night invites you to place tomorrow gently aside, knowing it will be there when you wake. You do not need to solve it tonight. You do not need to rehearse it in your mind. It is enough to know that care continues even while you sleep, tending to what you have released. Feel how this surrender creates space inside you. The chest opens, the jaw relaxes, the breath deepens. There is comfort in allowing life to hold what you cannot carry alone. This comfort is steady and grounding, not fleeting or fragile. As thoughts drift and fade, trust remains. It does not demand certainty or detail. It simply rests in the assurance that what unfolds will be met with the support you need. This assurance does not keep you alert. It invites you into deeper rest. Sleep draws you inward, and with it comes a sense of being carried rather than pushing forward. The future no longer presses against you. It waits gently, ready to unfold at its own pace. This waiting feels kind, patient, and safe. As dreams begin to form, let them float freely, unburdened by concern. Even in dreaming, the act of release remains complete. You are not required to hold tomorrow in your awareness. It is being cared for beyond your watchfulness. Drift fully into sleep now, wrapped in calm surrender. The future rests in capable hands. For this moment, peace is enough, and rest is complete. As the night reaches its deepest calm, there is a sense of things gently settling into place. The body recognizes that it has arrived at a point of rest where nothing more is required. Effort fades completely, replaced by a quiet feeling of completion. The day no longer asks anything of you. It has finished unfolding, and you are free to let it be as it is. Let your breath slow naturally as this feeling deepens. There is no loose end that must be tied tonight, no unfinished thought that needs attention. What has been done is enough. What remains can wait. The nervous system responds to this assurance by releasing its final layers of tension, allowing rest to become deeper and more complete. As the mind softens, notice how even subtle vigilance dissolves. There is no need to stay partially awake or alert. Everything that required effort has already been handled for now. This moment carries a sense of wholeness, as if all necessary motions have gently come to rest. Feel how the body welcomes this state. Muscles sink into stillness. The breath becomes almost effortless. The heart settles into a steady, unhurried rhythm. There is nothing to anticipate and nothing to correct. You are exactly where you need to be. In this quiet completion, peace feels stable and grounded. It does not flicker or depend on reassurance. It simply is. The night holds you in this fullness, offering a deep sense of resolution that allows the mind to let go completely. As sleep continues to deepen, awareness turns inward without effort. Thoughts no longer form narratives. They drift and dissolve, leaving behind a spacious calm. The sense of being finished brings comfort, allowing you to rest without concern for what comes next. There is relief in knowing that you do not need to stay engaged for things to remain okay. The stillness itself is enough. Completion does not mean endings. It means rest has been earned and can now be fully received. As dreams begin to take shape, they float gently in this settled space. Even dreaming carries a feeling of ease. Nothing intrudes. Nothing pulls you back toward wakefulness. You are free to remain deeply at rest. Sink fully into this quiet completion now. The body knows it is safe to sleep deeply. Everything that needed attention has been handled for the night. Stillness holds you, steady and complete, guiding you into profound and restorative rest. As the stillness becomes profound, a gentle sense of assurance settles deep within you. What has been set in motion no longer needs repetition or reinforcement. It is already secure, already unfolding in quiet, reliable ways. This assurance does not ask for focus or affirmation. It rests calmly, like a truth the body understands without thought. Let your breathing remain soft and unforced as this feeling anchors itself more deeply. There is nothing fragile here. What is meant to continue will continue. What has begun will carry itself forward witut your constant attention. The nervous system receives this message and relaxes further, releasing any lingering need to check or confirm. As awareness drifts, there is a subtle sense of something being gently affirmed and held in place, not through words or effort, but through quiet certainty, like soil settling around newly planted roots. Everything stabilizes naturally. The night supports this settling, ensuring that what is unfolding remains protected and undisturbed. Feel how this stability creates ease throughout the body. The chest softens, the breath deepens, the mind grows still. There is no urgency to revisit intentions or concerns. What matters has already been received and accepted. Now it is safe to rest completely. As sleep draws you further inward, trust becomes embodied. It no longer lives in thought. It lives in sensation, in the calm rhythm of your breathing, in the weight of your body resting fully supported. This trust holds steady, even as consciousness fades. The quiet hours wrap around what is unfolding, keeping it intact and undisturbed. Nothing interferes. Nothing needs correction. The process continues gently, securely, without your involvement. This knowledge brings a deep sense of peace, allowing the mind to surrender entirely. Dreams may come and go, but this assurance remains beneath them, steady and calm. Even in the depths of sleep, there is a feeling of safety and continuity. What is meant to grow will grow. What is meant to arrive will arrive. Rest fully now, without watching or waiting. Everything important has been settled. The night holds it carefully, and you are free to sink into deep, uninterrupted sleep, carried by quiet certainty and ease. As sleep takes you fully, there is a gentle sense of being wrapped in calm, like a soft covering that shields and comforts without weight. The world fades into quiet, and nothing pulls at your awareness anymore. You are held in a space where effort is unnecessary and concern cannot reach. The body recognizes this depth of rest and settles into it naturally, trusting the stillness completely. Your breathing becomes slow and rhythmic, each breath flowing without thought. Muscles release what little tension remains, sinking into ease. The mind no longer forms questions or searches for answers. Everything it needs to know has already been entrusted to the quiet. In this deep rest, awareness softens into a peaceful hum beneath consciousness. There is a feeling of being cared for through every hour of the night. Nothing intrudes. Nothing asks. The silence itself feels supportive, steady, and kind. Even without awareness, you are held in balance, supported in ways that do not require attention or understanding. Rest deepens effortlessly, As the body moves further into sleep, there is a sense of gentle continuity, as though calm extends far beyond this moment. Time feels distant and irrelevant. There is no past to revisit and no future to anticipate. Only this deep, nourishing rest remains, restoring and renewing quietly from within. Dreams may drift through softly or not at all. Either way, peace remains uninterrupted. The nervous system is calm, settled, and safe. Every cell rests in this stillness, absorbing ease and reassurance without effort. You are free to let go completely now. There is nothing to monitor, nothing to manage, nothing to hold. Sleep carries you gently, steadily, deeper into comfort. The night surrounds you with quiet protection, allowing rest to do its work fully. Remain here, drifting effortlessly. You are safe. You are supported. Rest continues to deepen, smooth and uninterrupted, carrying you through the night in perfect calm.